Alright guys, day 7, fake woke frontlines. Doing a little bit of what I always do, checking in with the mainstream media to hear what is important for us to be knowing stuff about today, and then I do a little bit of check-in behind in my little commentary. And remember guys, this is all just, ramblings of a madman for the sole purpose of entertainment. Alright, so I click on MSNBC, clickety-click. One of their major stories was from Rachel something or other, and the title of it is, well, the picture in the title says bad faith. So let's see what Rachel wants to tell us from MSNBC about bad faith.
Interior Secretary Deb Haaland had her confirmation hearing as well. And the knock on her from Republican senators is that Deb Haaland has expressed concerns about oil and gas drilling on public lands. Well, I can see why that would be very difficult for them to swallow. You know who else has expressed concerns about oil and gas drilling on public lands? Joe Biden, who was elected president after publicly and repeatedly expressing those concerns, after making campaign promises about how he would govern as president, saying he would factor those publicly stated.
I am so happy that she went back and was talking about all of Joe Biden's campaign promises, because we know that that's all he does is go after his promises to make sure all of his constituents, feel secure that he's not a two-faced liar. Let's listen a little bit more.
Concerns of his into effect when he made policy as president. He was elected president saying, I'm a little worried about oil and gas drilling on public lands, and I'm going to do something about it. And so
well, to be fair, Miss MSNBC, he kind of said a little bit more than that. I mean, her video is 5 minutes long, and I probably found 10 other videos that, I don't understand. You guys are making this too easy for us, and it's almost like it's almost like you're thirsty and gasping for breath, that you can't think of anything to talk about, that you need to lecture us on bad faith. When I say us, I mean patriots, the real woke people, the people that aren't buying into all this nonsense that's going on. Okay? With the politics, YouTube, lighten up, alright? With the politics, it's not making a lot of sense what's been coming out of a lot of our leaders' mouths. For example,
welcome to the 2020 debates. Tonight, it's Joe Biden versus Joe Biden.
would there be any place for fossil fuels, including coal and fracking, in a Biden administration?
No, we would work it out. We would make sure it's eliminated.
I am not banning fracking.
No more, no new fracking.
Do we need a national mask mandate?
I think we do. Let's institute a mask mandate nationwide.
There's a constitutional issue whether the federal government could issue such a mandate. I don't think constitutionally they could, so I wouldn't issue a mandate. Come on, man. You can't mandate that.
And we agree that we can redirect some of the funding.
Yes, absolutely.
No, I don't support defunding the police.
Come on, man. They become the enemy. They're supposed to be protecting these people.
Well, there you have it, folks. We have one clear loser tonight, and that...
This stuff is so ridiculous, I can't make it up. And this is exactly why I'm making videos now, because you can't sit by and watch this stuff anymore and pretend, support these type of people and these candidates and pretend like, you're doing it for some social justice reason or whatever. They tore at your heartstrings to make you do something. All right, guys, let's go back to Rachel, whatever her name is, and listen a little bit more.
He's now chosen somebody to be Interior Secretary who agrees with him on that. It would be weird if he didn't. It would be a scandal if he didn't. He wouldn't campaign on protecting public lands from new oil and gas drilling and then put somebody in charge of that part of the government who was like, yeah, gung-ho, let's drill the bejesus out of some secret national monuments.
Or maybe he doesn't make cabinet appointments off of relevance information like that. Maybe he's using the same tactic they've been using for an entire year now. Let's see if I can find it here. Let's go jump forward about a minute.
Holland will be confirmed. She will be the first Native American ever confirmed to a U.S. cabinet position. And it will be celebrated by Native American communities coast to coast like nothing you have ever seen. And almost all Republicans will nevertheless have opposed her on the grounds that she, heaven forbid, agrees.
On the grounds that you didn't even look at other candidates and that you're quite possibly putting all these officials in based on their ethnicity, and that you have all of these woke criterias that you're trying to shove down everybody's throats. No, guys, they would never do that to us. Instead, the Republicans, they are operating in bad faith because they're pointing out that this guy, that this lady might not be qualified enough. But it's not enough to stop there. Okay, guys, let's just go a little further into this bad faith, right? This isn't me, guys. This is MSNBC that thinks all of us need to be educated on bad faith. So, here would be, let's see, a great example of, bad faith.
Oh, I got to get the votes. That's why, the one thing that I have this strange notion. We are a democracy. Some of my Republican friends and some of my Democratic friends even occasionally say, well, if you can't get the votes by executive order, you're going to do something. Things you can't do by executive order unless you're a dictator. We're a democracy. We need consensus.
And I don't know if you guys know, but I think we're at 51 or something by now, but let's listen.
And it actually says that a president who does things by executive order is a dictator, and yet with
great video. Pepper Peep, by the way. There's a lot more on that one. That's not enough. We want to talk about bad faith, right? Here's another one.
St. John and the Reverend, you could make an immediate difference in your own lives. Their election will put an end to the block in Washington that $2,000 stimulus check. That money that will go out the door immediately.
But the Democrats did not come through on the $2,000 checks. Here's a reminder of what they said when they wanted your vote.
We will be able to pass $2,000 stimulus checks for the people next week when we win these races in Georgia.
What was this, guys? Wasn't this in December 4th or something?
they will make decisions about whether we get people a $2,000 check.
So they said $2,000 immediately and $2,000 in the first week. Then, as soon as Biden got elected, that became...
It's going to supplement the $600 that came in December with another $1,400 for $2,000.
There was $600 payments, as you know, in the $900 billion package that passed in December. This is $1,400. Together, that's $2,000.
99% of the people.
And where are we at? That election happened in December. We are at the end of February now, and I don't know about you guys, but I still haven't gotten any stimulus check. And it's not like they're doing important things like working on stimulus checks and stuff like that, because that would just be crazy if they just spent all of their time trying to help the American people for these devastating effects that we were all mandated in order to crush this super scary virus, guys. And I would also that was a What Now video. They do great stuff also. They're making it so easy for everybody. And this is the very first video I looked at. Spent 5 minutes looking for other evidence to support what I might think bad faith acting would be. It's not like I have a major news network that pays me, millions of dollars a year to actually know what I'm talking about. No, I don't. If I had that, then I could probably be able to explain what the heck Rachel's talking about. But since I don't have all that money and we're not all as super duper woke like she is, then obviously she's going to have to try to explain a little bit harder. So let's see let's go back and see what she wants to say to us.
With the president on a major policy issue. And when almost all, if not all, Republican senators oppose her, Native communities in their states will never forget that vote.
Oh, and now heartstrings
Deb Haaland
again,
will be confirmed by
threatening
the
you.
Senate, regardless of Republicans' bad faith objections to her nomination. And Javier Becerra will be confirmed by the Senate. Again, too, regardless of Republican senators' bad faith objections to him. If you didn't care that Alex Azar wasn't a doctor, you can't complain that that's your big problem with this other guy who isn't a doctor either. That's like how you would teach a first grader about what bad faith means.
She is making a quote about Republicans talking crap about Jill Biden, who's not a doctor, and then Senator Ted Cruz, who is also not a doctor, yet still has a doctorate's degree. So I don't know if you're trying to prove us wrong or right, because none of us refer to Ted Cruz as Dr. Cruz or whatever. And I don't even know if that's even facts. That sounds like a switcheroo to me.
Deb Haaland and Javier Becerra will be confirmed, just like Tom Vilsack and Linda Thomas Greenfield were confirmed today. Just like Merrick Garland will be confirmed as our nation's next Attorney General, despite all these Republican senators now standing up and intoning solemnly about how much they're horrified by any hint of the White House trying to...
No, we're horrified when we hand you loaded questions like, do you think illegal border crossings is a crime? And then he's like, sorry, I have 2 young kids, so that's why I'm always doing this. Anyways, you get the point, like a whole press conference of us from Jen Psaki in one question in about 2 minutes. And then at the end, he's like, well, I never really thought about it. It's not like I'm going to be the attorney general of, the country. But, I imagine the answer is yes. He imagines. The Twilight Zone, guys.
To influence the workings of Justice Department prosecutors.
We're almost there. Bear with me, okay?
These Republican senators
let's
lock her up tattoos.
Let's see
through their shirt
how she
sleeves.
wraps this all up.
While they are making these pious arguments as if this is something that they have strong principled feelings about. After they never once peeped about Trump and William Barr burning the Justice Department down in terms of political interference.
And you remember how William Barr didn't do anything?
Anyone who is arguing to you that Democrats need to scooch over to the Republican senators on confirmations, withdraw any confirmations that Republicans don't like. Anybody who's telling you that Democrats need to scooch over to the positions of Republican senators.
I don't even know. She has so many videos when Trump was confirming people and she was burning down the house and confirmation judges, and they were, literally threatening, like out loud all over the place. I don't know if you've seen the impeachment trial, but they played the videos of all of the physical threats that Democrats made. And that's not by my standards. That is by the Congress's attempted impeachment standards. Anytime you use fight in any reference, apparently you're inciting violence. But I trust them because, believe me, they obviously know what they're doing because they're only running the most powerful country in the entire world.
On policy and start doing things that they say they want instead of what President Biden and the Democrats campaigned on doing and what they want to do and can do. Because somehow scooching over to the Republican side will build good faith with Republicans. It'll build up goodwill. And if only the Democrats unilaterally give stuff to the Republicans that they don't need to give up, the Republicans will be so appreciative about that as a good faith sign. It'll break open a new era of substantive bipartisan cooperation. Anybody arguing that to you in this century, in 2021, is not watching what the Republicans are actually doing in the Senate, or the absolutely bold bad faith with which they are behaving toward Biden nominees. Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know,
guys,
follow today's top stories.
Guys, oh my gosh. And these are the intellectuals that they keep lecturing us about, guys. These are the people that are so smart that all of us little infantile people that live in, out in the sticks that can't figure out how to clickety-click to take viruses and stuff. These are the people that are trying to lecture us about bad faith. Oh my gosh, I don't even think she can comprehend the amount of bad faith acting that has been came out of her mouth. Either that or it's absolute ignorance. And that's I tell my wife that all the time. Absolute ignorance would be awesome. I still wish the kids were in school. I still wish that I could go and work full-time jobs. I still wish that, my favorite restaurant was open at full capacity where the neighborhood likes to hang out. Like, I wish I could do all of these things. I don't want to be making videos. I don't want to be listening to Rachel Maddow. I want to be living my life. But they are the ones that decided to do all of this and continue doing all of this and continue not bringing any solution about to handle the problem, just pointing fingers at the opposition. And at that, guys, I'm sorry I had no videos yesterday. Life's crazy with some little ones in your life, but I'm going to try to whack out a few today. Please like, subscribe, and feel free to argue and yell at me in the comments, because that's what I'm here for, guys. I'm here to argue, and just whipping out my Slayer hat, because I am coming for all you fake woke individuals. Peace.